stars. Today we're going to talk about how you present yourself on camera. So dress to impress. Now know that if you're just starting to record and to do videos, some of these things really don't apply. All you have to do is start, right? Press that button, focus on your message, okay? Your message is way more important than what you're wearing, what's in the background, how you're presenting yourself. All of that jazz doesn't matter if your message sucks, okay? So make sure you're delivering good value and that your message is the most important thing. All you need is your phone and your message. That's it. Get good at those two, at pressing play, at figuring out what type of video you're gonna do, at getting good at that video, and at delivering good value. And as you get comfortable with that and you get more experience and more skilled at it, then you start adding these other layers. But it's what you wear, it really doesn't matter. Now, if you're already doing these videos and you're doing them in a consistent basis and you have your topics and you know how to deliver value and you want to pick it up a notch, you want to make them look a little bit more professional or more clean cut, then you can start thinking about these things. Or you can put them in the back of your head and think, okay, well, eventually I'll have to think about this, right? And you start it's just kind of simmering there. Okay, so what to wear? What should you wear? Whatever you want. There's no rule for this. You are creating your own brand, so it's whatever you want. Keep in mind that if you already went through the branding course and the Rock Your Facebook online course, then maybe you already are familiar with what are your branding colors, what are your motifs, what is your brand, what are the things that represent you that other people can associate with you. And if you already have those, then you want to make sure to highlight those and to use those in a consistent basis in your videos as well, because you want your audience to attach you to that every single time, right? So a couple of examples for me, when I'm teaching dance, when I'm teaching Zumba, I always have a black top. I change the leggings, but I always have a black top. And this goes, I've been doing this for like 20 years now. I loved dressing up in black when I was dancing. So when I transferred to Zumba, I did the crazy pants, but I kept the black top, okay? So it was natural for me that when I started recording my videos, and I did experiment with using different tops, like my branding color is pink. I did experiment with using some pink tops, and I noticed that it didn't quite translate that well. People were not being able to relate me that well, okay? So now I just stay consistent. I teach with a black top, so my videos are gonna be with a black top. Same thing with the hat. The first couple of videos that I did did not have the hat because the hat had a different purpose. I started using the hat in my classes when my classes started to grow so much that I would get lost in the crowd, right? I like to interact with my students and I like to come down from the stage of the place where I'm teaching it has a stage, or if it doesn't have the stage, I like to get in with everybody and dance and go to the back row and dance to the back row and come back to the middle and run to the front and so I like to mingle. And people were like, where's she at? I was like, where is she? So I started wearing a hat so that people could go oh, there she is. There's a white hat, and I started actually with a black hat, but I would still get lost. White hat did the trick. It was like, oh, there she is. She's in the back row. She's in the corner. And that's why I use the hat. So when I started doing videos, well, it's a video. I was like, it had no purpose. So I didn't do my videos with the hat and people had no idea who it was. And then I started doing videos with the hat and they're like, oh, it's a trick with the hat. So I decided to keep my videos with the hat because it was part of my brand. It was a motif that people really understood, they could relate that to me, right? And you want to be memorable in your videos, both because of your value as well as your overall look, so that people can recognize you online. And as soon as they're scrolling and they see a white hat, they go, oh, right? Or they see, whatever it is that is your motif. I know there's a girl, a lady on Facebook that I used to follow too, and she would always have Disney ears. And every video she'd had a different Disney ear, and she had tons of these. And that was her thing. She just did, videos. There's another lady that I follow and her branding color is turquoise. So she would either always have a turquoise top, or she would have a white top and be behind a turquoise background, right? But she would always make it a point to have white and turquoise in her videos. All of her videos have, some combination of white here, turquoise there, white, turquoise in here, or white here, and some combination, okay? So in my case, I do black top, white hat, and that's how I do all my videos. I switch up the top, but it's always black. So what do you want to wear? Whatever you want. But if you start noticing that you have a certain color or a certain brand or a certain thing that kind of is your thing, make sure that you do those in those videos consistently so that people start to relate you to that. Okay? Awesome. Makeup. Makeup, again, is totally optional. Obviously, if you're a guy, you don't need this. But makeup is totally optional. And here it depends on what you're doing your videos for and how your style is. So if your style, I know there was this one guy who he was like, I'm raw. I like videos raw and like scrungy. And so he would go as far as not only to be all like mushy, but he would pick out, he was always outdoors. So all his videos were always outdoors. And he would pick out a place where it seemed like it was like the muddiest, right? Or it was like all the plants were on top so that he could go, oh, hi, I'm here with all the plants. And that was his style, right? That was his style. When I started doing videos, I didn't wear makeup because it was the 30-day challenges that I did. I had no idea what to talk about. So just getting on the camera was just like, that was enough. As I look back on them, I'm like, oh my God, I look so horrible. But it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. And the audience that I had at that time and my friends that were there, they were still supportive. They still liked it. They still, talked about it and, wished me good luck. And the new people that I reached, they still resonated with the message. Okay, the message is the one that carries you across. So focus on that. If you want to add a little bit more polish to your videos, women, lighting and makeup does go a long way. This year in particular, for me, I decided to pick up the notch on the quality of my videos, which is why I don't do live video anymore. And I've played around with different makeup brands. So right now I'm using something that has way more coverage than what I used last year. And and you just experiment with stuff and you decide how much is too much or how much is too little, but play around with it. I feel it does make a difference. I come from a dance background where we always, prep ourselves up for on stage and we do, big makeup for stage. This is actually very heavy makeup. I don't go to the store like this. And as soon as I finish my videos, I actually wipe it off because I feel like it's way too much for real life. But on camera, it looks okay. It looks great. I like it. Okay. I come from a place where I even use lipstick to when I used to take class. Even if it was just ballet, right? I would still put on lipstick because I like feeling presentable and, beautiful. And when I go to Zumba class as a student, I still wear a lipstick. I still have an eyeliner. I still want to feel performance-y like. So naturally, when I started doing my videos and I started taking them more seriously and wanted to take them to the next level, I pumped up my makeup because for me, that's part of the whole stage presence, right? And cinematography value. Do you have to do it? Nope. Totally up to you. But it's one way to present yourself in camera. I will say once you start doing something, continue to do it consistently. And so that A, they'll start recognize your whole overall look, your whole brand. And B, when you break away from that brand, it'll cause way more impact. So now as I do these videos, which are more polished, whenever I do like, oh, I'm here at the car, I just came off a class and I'm all sweaty and, the lighting isn't perfect. My makeup is messy because I just came out of class and my hair is all messed up and it's in the car. And you really see the contrast of that. And that catches people's eyes because they're not used to seeing me that way. They're used to seeing me in this more polished way. So then it's like, whoa, and immediately it stops the scroll. And it's stopping the scroll because it's breaking away from what they're usually used to see, how they're usually used to seeing me. So as you start playing around with your outfits, your colors, your makeup, and how you present yourself, Do it in a consistent way so that when you break away from that on purpose, it's another way for you to call attention to yourself very subtly. Yeah. Background. So backgrounds are important too. I've seen all type of crazy and simple and fun backgrounds. And again, if you're just starting, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Your message matters. If you're wanting to bring it up a notch, then pay a little bit more attention to it, right? I would do mine in the car just because that's where I could keep my kids like strapped in. So that was just for practical reasons. But visually, it's not very appealing to do videos in the car unless that's your brand, right? There's these two moms, and they do these really funny skits in the car about just moms doing stuff in the car, like waiting in line for their kids at school or singing songs, and and they're always doing them, but that's their brand. That's what they do, right? And the value of their video is 100% entertaining, and that's how it is. So depending on what your videos are, then you want to pay attention to your background. I used to do mine after I did the car and strapped them in, and now they were a little older and they were like two of them started going to school, so I started doing my videos in my house in the studio. Where I could shut the door, and whenever the baby number 3 was asleep, then I would do those videos. And I was like, yay, upgraded to like my house and not the car. And that was okay. Now I moved on to this clean slate because I just like the cleanliness. But that's just my personal preference. I've seen people who have very complicated backgrounds where, they have this, it's like a tripod, I guess, and they have a screen. There we go, a screen, and they change the screens or they keep it, and it's like just like a background, and in a place in their home where it's always put there. It's always there. Like that's where they do their videos, so that's where the thing is posted, and they only need a little small space for it. So that's what they do. I've seen other content creators that have very staged background. So maybe their colors are like white, black, and red. So they have, the white and black like lines like this, and then red details on, on the decor. I've seen people who, like the guy who's like very scrunchy, he was always outside. That was his thing. It's outside. He was outdoorsy. So it doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you stay consistent and you put some thought in it, right? Again, this is once you're comfortable doing your videos and you're trying to bring them up to your next level of polishness, of professionalism, but the message is what's way more important. You can have an awful outfit, no makeup, whatever background, and if your message is good and on point, it will have way more reach than something that is polished, beautiful makeup, perfect background, and your content sucks. Okay, so just know that those options are available to you. You don't need to do them. It's something to think about. And as you're experimenting with these, there are no rules. You are creating your own personal brand, your own personal style. So the only rules that apply are the rules that you want to follow. So create your own rules. But in order for you to create your own rules, you need to experiment with enough time between experiments. So say I'm going to experiment with the color purple, and for the next 10 videos, have some type of purple. Either your backdrop is purple, or your top is purple, or you have a purple hat or purple earrings, or experiment with that, and then decide after 10 videos and say, I liked it, or I didn't like it, or I liked it when it was just my accessories and not everything else, or I liked it when it was just my outfit and not everything else, or I liked it if I just stood in front of a purple wall and who cares what I was wearing, but experiment with that. Same thing with the background, same thing with the makeup. Give it sufficient videos to where you can evaluate what you liked and what you didn't, so that you create your own set of rules. Yes. And the number one thing that you do need, I should have started with this. Oh well. The number one thing that you do need is confidence. That's gonna go, you need your camera, you need your message, and you need confidence, right? Sometimes having a good outfit helps with that confidence. Sometimes putting on some makeup, I know for me, it's a transformative effect, right? The days that I'm not wearing this heavy makeup, I really don't feel like doing a video. And as I'm putting on my makeup, it's like it prepares me. It's like it's priming me to get into this, video persona thing. But it all relates to how you can create at least the illusion of confidence. Okay. So if your outfit helps you, if your background helps you, if your makeup helps you to get that confidence look, go for it. What's going to boost your confidence even more is just practice. Practice. Getting in front of the thing, pressing play, doing it a whole bunch of times, failing, looking awful at it, getting better at it, doing it again, improving, seeing what didn't work, doing it again, talking about something different. This didn't resonate. This did resonate. Talk more about the thing that did work. Do it again. All these things. Practice, practice, practice. That's what's going to give you a lot more confidence. And with that practice, eventually you'll start to move into, well, should I wear this top every single video? Oh, I know this other guy who all his videos is a white t-shirt. All of them. He has crazy engagement. He's from Korea. He has like a huge following. All his videos, white t-shirt. So there's no rules. Just do what's comfortable for you. Focus on your message. Get that confidence up.